What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you. As you can hear, I am severely under the weather, but I wanted to drop something for you so that you know that I'm here. Even though I'm sick, I'm thinking about you, and I want to get into this show. So it's not going to be like my standard video where I break down every scene. I'm just going to touch on everything that I think is important. At some points, the things that I'm talking about might not match up exactly what's showing on screen, but just look at this as me just trying to give something back to you. So if you can, hit that thumbs up button. 500 is the like goal. Let's try to get that algorithm set up, and let's also try to leave a bunch of comments in there because I want to hear from you. I got a couple of things right, I do believe, and a couple of things wrong. We'll go into all of that stuff. So a lot of times people have complained about this show not answering a lot of questions. And I think that right now, as the show is winding down, we're starting to see a lot of these answers that have been set up before now all of a sudden come to fruition. Let's start with Tabitha right off the bat. I had said in the video prior that I believe that Tabitha was a reincarnated soul type situation with Miranda, and that we have seen that in this episode played off. Because first we see Tabitha grab Victor's arm. Once she grabs Victor's arm, you can see that there's some type of moment there. And then obviously at the end of the episode, we see Tabitha see the death of Miranda. Now, it could be taken that maybe she was Eloise and she was watching from far away. I can hear that. But to me, what it looked like Tabitha was reliving the death of Miranda. And the only way to do that is that her soul is inside of him. Now, again, I told you, I said that this is the way they were going. This is what it seemed like to me. And I think that's exactly what it shows. So if we look at that whole situation and we're doing the whole reincarnated thing, I'm telling you from the beginning, I've said it before, I'm going to tell you again right now, that Sarah is going to be Eloise. Sarah is going to be the third person of that family. Always keep seeing Tabitha, Victor, and Sarah together. And I think there's a reason why they keep showing all these people together, and that is because Sarah is Eloise. Now, how they're going to explain that or how they pull that off, I don't know. But in the end, that's what I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Sarah being Eloise, and that's the whole trilogy of this family. Now, another thing I want to talk about when dealing with the whole situation with Miranda is we see Smile Monster, and he actually runs after her. Now, we have never seen these creatures run before. We always were led to believe that they just walk. But his ass wasn't walking on this one. He had to make sure he caught her ass, and he physically ran and jumped on top of her and killed her. So are they going to upgrade the monsters later on? Are we about to see a new form of monster that they're not walking anymore, that they're going to start running around and chasing people in the upcoming seasons? Is that what they're going to switch to? Because now it seems that maybe these people are getting too close. Right? And when you get too close, they got to do something to make it so that they can stay a step ahead of you. So it could be that we're about to see these monsters go out there and start tracking people down and running and catching. I know the Father Khatri situation, it didn't seem they ran after him. They did get close to him real quick, but it didn't seem they ran after him. This is the first time I think we've ever seen one of those monsters ever run before. Donna not wanting to drop dime on Fatima because of what she means to the town. I think that's something that we could see happening. We knew that it wasn't going to be a situation where Donna was going to give Fatima up. She's got too much love for her. You know, it's kind of not the same for Sarah. No one's got no love for Sarah like that. But, you know, it's kind of messed up. But they got a lot of love for Fatima. A whole lot. And you could see why they would do something like this. You could see why they would say, you know, oh, we're not going to allow this town to break Fatima, because that breaks the whole town, and everybody then gets down. Everyone starts saying, if it could happen to Fatima, why couldn't it happen to one of us? And that would be a reason for them not to give up Fatima. As for Sarah talking to Boyd and going into the details about these voices that she keeps hearing, and again, she always says multiple voices that are laughing. Right? It's not just one person. It's multiple people. that are laughing, and they're saying that she's close, but they're not going to be able to find her in time, right? So these are not the monsters that are doing this communication. This is something above the monsters. And it's not just one person, it's a bunch of people that are there laughing at them. To me, I think it is the jinns that are there, and they're the ones who set this whole thing up, and they're the ones that are laughing about the whole situation. But you could see how they're trying to set up a breakup for the whole town, a reason for the whole town to just give up on life. And then when they come to Boyd giving the speech about why they need to save Fatima, that's exactly what he touches on when he's touching on that the town, this self, the town meaning this place, the entity in this place, believe that they could break them all. And again, if you talk about Fatima taking the nicest person out, that would be a reason how they break everybody in town. So I think it's the right decision that Don is making not to give Fatima up. We also got to look at the fact that they put certain people together inside of the cast when they did the search, right? They had certain people hang out with the other person. I think it's not a coincidence that they went and had Elgin go in there and be out there with Ellis, right? I don't think that's a coincidence at all that they put those two people together. And when dealing with Acosta, putting her with Donna, you know, Acosta is very nosy, she's very pushy, you know, but she doesn't understand that Donna's not going to give up anything right now, because the only thing Donna cares about is bringing Fatima back home. And Acosta's still trying to come to grips with everything that's going on there, and she wants to be an asset, she wants to help out, but she's just not realizing how deep it goes being inside this place. And things that you would do normally on the outside just aren't the same things that you can do here that would work here. Sometimes you gotta think a little bit outside the box, and I don't think that she's thinking that much outside the box. Boyd talking to Kenny about his Parkinson's disease. Something that slipped my mind is that Ellis had no idea about the Parkinson's disease. I thought Ellis knew, but obviously he didn't know. And it seems like it didn't start for Boyd, this Parkinson, until he got to this place. From what they said when he was talking to Ellis, that he had no signs of this outside of this place. But as soon as he got here, that's when the disease started to kick in. So we have to start asking ourselves, did this place develop the Parkinson's within him? Or if he had it in him, did it speed up somehow what's going on with him inside this place? If that's happening, now you start talking about, you know, medical experiments and things like that coming back. But in the end, when you see him with Kenny, he's trying to make plans that if he's not going to be here, that Kenny's going to come over. Jade dealing again with the doll and Jasper, Christopher. Again, I said it before in my other video that it's going to be some type of soul swapping, and Jade and Christopher's soul are also going to be swapped, or somehow that they are swapped too. Just like Miranda and Tabitha, this is Jade's person, and quite possibly a lot of these people in this place, it may be the exact same thing. A lot of these people in here may have already had soul swap with somebody else, or not, I'm not sure, but it's a good possibility that they did do this. When dealing with Victor and the boy in white, they figured out a way to explain the boy in white, the actor, getting older, right? They put that in there. It was clever the way they put that in there, just to say, hey, you look different. Well, you look different too. We know the kid's going to age. The only problem I think I hear with this happening is going to be with Ethan, the actor who plays Ethan. You're not going to be able to sugarcoat that the same way. But Victor wanting to chop down the tree, and the boy in white telling him not to chop down the tree, I think it's a logical thing of wanting to chop down this tree, and why no one else has ever thought about this. Now, we're dealing with technology. Again, we don't know what's inside that tree. It may look like a tree, could it be some type of hologram that is something else beneath it. and that's why that tree does not need to be chopped down at this time. I still don't believe that this has anything really to do with magic in the end. I still think somehow technology is going to come into play in this whole situation. Not sure how, because they're doing a very good job on keeping that away from us right now. And when I look at the situation dealing with Jim and Ethan going back to where it all started, you have Tabitha with Julie going back to where it all started. Something's telling me that it's not going to end well for the Matthews. Something bad is going to have them. The way they have them separating and hanging out with each other, the fact that Julie is now opening up to her mother and saying that she believes that she was able to actually be in this spot and she wasn't just there. And we seen her physically affect this place by being in the back, right? So we know she can do it. She doesn't know she can do it right now. She's still working that out. But as an audience, we know that she can physically affect what's going on back there. And in the end, if you watch my video of how this is all going to end, I'll put it at the end of this video. I explain exactly the ending of the show, of how the show is going to end and how it's all going to work itself out. Due to the situation and the ability that Julie has, I don't think she's the only one who has it. I think that some other people will have it, or she'll be able to bring people with her, like we seen right off the bat that she wasn't able to bring Ethan, but she doesn't know how to control it yet. But once she's able to control it, then I believe that she will be able to bring other people back with her, and time travel will solve this whole situation for this whole show going forward. Elgin is just a big mouth. He just just runs. He gonna give himself up. This is not the guy you commit a crime with, Elgin, because Elgin's a blabbermouth. He doesn't know how to keep a secret. And in the end, I think Elgin truly believes he's doing the right thing. I don't think he's an evil person. I don't think he was taken over. I just think he was just influenced by a bad person in this place and it's getting him to do his bidding. But in the end, I just don't think that it's going to work out for Elgin. I'm very scared for the character. I don't know how he comes back from this whole situation. I don't know how the town can forgive him for everything that has been going on. We know for sure that the kimono lady is up to no good from their actions this video, but the number one thing I think that we had to take away here is that reincarnation is a thing. That's what's going on here. Tabitha is definitely Miranda. You tell me in the comment section what you think. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up to spread this across the realm, and of course subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.